Hi there guys, and welcome to another Commodore 64 review. This one's going to be a little different. I've created an AV cable for my Commodore 64, and now instead of filming the screen while I play the game, I've got voiceover, and it's direct capture, so it's a lot clearer, and I'm hoping you guys are going to like this a lot better than filming the TV screen, which is a bit you know. The only downside is you don't get to see me put the discs in or anything like I used to in the old reviews, you know. But yeah, I had the Commodore 64 set up in this room, and it was a mess. There were cables going everywhere, and oh, it was crazy. But anyway, I want to talk about I want to review and talk about one of my favourite games on the Commodore 64 of all time, and that is The Last Ninja 3. Last Ninja 3. Out of all the games on Commodore 64, The Last Ninja was definitely my favourite. These games were just so ahead of their time. The graphics and music and gameplay was phenomenal. With the story with me with The Last Ninja is, I think I told this story when I reviewed Last Ninja 2, but yeah, I got sick and my sister gave it to me as a present, like a get well present, when I was really sick this time. I had this flu or something. It was really bad though. And I got The Last Ninja 2 first, before Last Ninja 1. And when I got better, I played the game and loved it, but I was stuck. You know, at first it was a bit too puzzling for me, and then my sister figured out some of the first few puzzles, and then I really got into the game, you know, and I loved it. And it didn't take me I was stuck for a while on the first level, and I figured it out eventually, and it didn't take me long to sort of get all the way through the Last Ninja 2 game. And not long after that, I came across this pack. It's called the Ocean In Crowd, which I think I've shown in another video, which has Last Ninja 1 in it. Actually, probably when I reviewed Last Ninja 1. And that's when I played Last Ninja 1, and it was sort of taking a step backwards because Last Ninja 1 was original and cool, and it had all the puzzles and music and everything, don't get me wrong, but Last Ninja 2 was so polished. It was the game that Last Ninja 1 was, but better, you know. And so I've always loved Last Ninja 2 as my favourite, right? So, you know, I played through Ninja 1 and all that. I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed Ninja 2, even though Ninja 2 was just a little bit better. Now, you know, when I beat Ninja 2, as a kid, I never really thought to think of, would there be another one? You know, with games now, like, you know, after you beat Gears of War 1, you knew there'd be a Gears of War 2 because it was so epic. You sort of just expect a sequel. But with them back then, I don't know, just maybe because I was younger and I never really thought about it. I never really thought, would there be another Ninja game? Because I played Ninja 2 first, remember, and then Ninja 1. I never thought, would there be a Ninja 3? And I think it was, I remember I lived in this in Queensland, in this suburb called Toowong, and there was this little newsagent on this corner. Actually, while I'm filming this video, I'll see if I can get a Google Street View picture of it. I'll put it in. It was this tiny little newsagent which had the game magazines and all that. And you got to remember, when I was a kid, remember, no internet, so gaming magazines was the source. That was, you know, where you got all your info, you know. Now you just get on Google and type in whatever you want. But yeah, I think I was collecting those Ninja Turtle medallions at the time, which I've still got, you know. And I think I grabbed one of the Commodore gaming magazines and opened it up, and I saw this picture. And I was like, oh my god. And it said, you know, Last Ninja 3. So it said coming soon or something. Real hatred is timeless. And this is the box here, but it was pretty much the same ad. As you can see, it says includes a limited edition poster and that. Yeah, this box is a bit trash, you know. I didn't take good care of it when I was a kid. I don't know why. Normally I do take good care of stuff, but this one seemed to get a bit of a beating. But yeah, I saw that in the magazine and I was like, oh my god, there's a Ninja 3 coming out! And I don't think it had the date, and it didn't take long. It was out, like, not long after I saw that ad, maybe a few months or something. And yeah, went to the Maya Centre in Brisbane City. This big sort of shopping complex in the city there. I think it was level 3. The store was called Games Express. And I got my Ninja 3, man. And, so awesome, man. I couldn't wait to get home and play this after playing Ninja 2, you know. I'll show you the back of the box. That's the back of the box. Yeah, as you can see, pretty much standard sort of box. I love that picture, though. And, as I said, yeah, limited edition poster, which I still have. And, thankfully, this is in good nick. So... You know, I actually had this on my wall in my room, and then I thought I'm going to take it down and laminate it, but I've decided not to even do that. I want to just leave this how it is, so maybe I'll copy it and then laminate the copy and keep this original, because this poster is one of a kind, you know, and this poster, I'm holding something that's like 20 years old, which is like freaky, man. This poster is like older than probably some of you, you know, so, I mean, you wouldn't even call it a poster, really. I mean, it is a poster, but... it's a lot smaller. As you can see, it's got the folds still. You know, the old posters, they just folded them up like this and stuck them in the box. As you can see. Like that. So, yeah. So, yeah, I got the game home, and I remember in running it for the first time, and I also talk about this a bit in the voiceover, but the first time I watched there was an intro for this, and I wasn't expecting it, because there was a Last Ninja remix which sort of had an intro in between, I think, Ninja 2 and 3, but I never had it back in those days. I ended up getting it, like, you know, when eBay came in. I got it just because I was curious, you know, but yeah, this, you know, I loaded up and it has this intro, like a movie, you know, and it was crazy, and you see me talk about it, I absolutely freaked out, and the first time I watched it and the intro was over, I switched off the Commodore 64 and switched it back on just so I could watch the intro again. I'm like, oh, it was that cool, you know. I didn't even, like, play the game, I just switched it straight off, switched it on again so I could see the intro one more time. And, yeah, it starts with this intro, and then this really incredible intro that really showcases the power that these games had with the graphics. Ninja 3 had had 5 levels, yeah. 5 levels, which were all pretty challenging in their own way. The first level is called Earth, the second level is called Wind, the third level is called Water, the fourth level is called Fire, and the last level is called Void. And as far as the story goes, actually, I should have it here in the menu, because I have the menu, which is in really good condition. Okay, so... freaks me out how old this stuff is. I love this. I mean, the story is really long, man. I don't know if I can read this all out. Let me just choose a bit. Here's an interesting paragraph. The ninjas' names are Armakuni. Armakuni was back at the very heart of ninjutsu spiritualism. He had been brought to Tibet, the Tibetan mountains to be precise, and the location of his latest exploits were to be the Tibetan temples. These mystical Buddhist temples house the source of inner power to the ninja. The temple is divided into 5 chambers, each depicting one of the elements and combining to prove the ninja with the very heart of their power and mystical strength. So symbolic to the very existence of ninjutsu. The 5 chamber elements are earth, water, wind, fire, and void. No one had entered the inner chambers of the temples before, and so there was no knowledge of what would greet any would-be explorer. Void would be an unknown entity to a ninja, familiar only with the ways of old, and whose weaponry would seem somewhat primitive to any space-age assassin who lurked within this futuristic chamber and who strove to carry out the outlandish orders of the new dictator. Weaponry is, however, just a tool for ninjutsu strength. Master of many a move, the last ninja knows he is up to the task, but knows not how long his task will take. So as you can see, the writing, this story, you know, it's only a few pages, but it's very cool. And basically what it talks about is the levels in the game. So you're summoned when your arch enemy is the Shogun, and when he sort of returns, you're automatically summoned to sort of defeat him. And so you have to go through these 5 levels, and it's like each level is a challenge that he's set up, or as it talked about, these 5 temple chambers. So you got the earth, wind, water, fire, void. It's your job just to go through them, and like I said, each level is challenging. The music for this game is phenomenal. It just blends so well in with the levels, and I just love this game. I really do. One thing I'll say is Ninja 3 was a lot more buggy than the other Last Ninja games. Mainly the fire level, which I'll talk about in the voiceover. You'll actually see the glitches yourself, and which will be sort of entertaining, I think. But yeah, see, I've already filmed the gameplay and done the voiceover, so I'm filming the video segment now, sort of the intro and ending, or in between the levels, which is what I'm doing now. So if I say something twice, that's why, you know. But yeah, the first level. First, we'll check out the intro first, because that you have to see. So check it out, and I'll be back to talk about the upcoming first level. Alrighty, so here we have the intro to the game, Last Ninja 3. The thing about this was the first Last Ninja game I saw that had the intro. Only 2 really have an intro like this. Last Ninja Remix and Last Ninja 3, but I never had Last Ninja Remix in the 64 days. I ended up getting it later on. When eBay sort of came in, I ended up buying it and playing it just to see what it was about. But this was the first time I'd seen an intro to a Last Ninja game, and this fucking blew me away the first time I saw it. I was just like, oh my god, it was like watching a movie. You know, you see the ninja coming out of the darkness, you know, in the Tibetan mountains, and he's coming closer and closer like this. He's coming closer to the screen. The lightning's going, you know, it's just so crazy. This intro it blew me away, you know. And the ninja's getting closer and closer, and then I'm like, oh man, he looks sort of weird. He doesn't sort of look like a ninja. What's he wearing? It's all like, you know, like rags or something, you know. And then he comes all close like that, and then the music gets all cool and kicks in, you know. And I'm like, oh man, you know. And you know, Ren Owenhand, I'll get to him in a minute, who did the music. And then you see this shot, and you're like, ah, yeah, that's what I know, man. Those eyes, you know, those are the eyes of the Last Ninja, and just such a cool shot, man. The lightning going off in the background, you know, and then the music's going all, you know, all cool, and then, oh man, you see the ninja, and he's looking at this castle, the lightning's still going off, man. And then he turns and he looks at you, and then he winks just like that, just before the lightning goes off again, and he's just like, oh man, something cool is gonna happen here, you know. And I'm still in shock that I'm watching an intro to a ninja game, you know. It was so epic. There was hardly anything like this ever done on Commodore 64. You know, normally you got a screen, an intro screen, but nothing like this. You know, this was like watching a movie, you know, and you know, back to the intro here, but you see the ninja sort of approaching the castle in the background, and this guard just standing here, and the lightning going off, and just so epic, man. Like, seriously, these games were just, oh man, so much fun, and they're still so unique, even today. They just hold up. And then yeah, the ninja walks up to the castle like that, and then he loses the tattered rags. I'm like, oh my god, he's in the ninja mode now. This is so cool, you know. And then he climbs up the wall like that. That's so cool, man. That's definitely like Last Ninja 1 style, man. Climbs up the wall, and then you see him comes up behind this guard. This is so cool. He pulls out a shuriken and bang to the face, man. And that is just so awesome. If you watch the Amiga version, he actually jumps up there and snaps the guy's neck, which looks awesome. You can check that out on YouTube, actually. But yeah, I mean, that's the Ninja 3 intro. It blew me away so much the first time I watched it that I switched off the Commodore 64, loaded it up again, and watched it again before I played the game. So, alrighty, so here we have level 1. You start, and straight away there's a guy all over your ass. You go in that doorway, grab the rubber glove, and then, yeah, just try to get by him. And because, you know, in the first level, you start with a very low Bushido meter. Actually, what I'll do is I'll talk about the meters just so you know. I won't keep bringing them up during the voiceover that I'm doing for this review, but basically the bottom left corner you've got the blue and the brown energy meters. The blue energy is obviously the ninjas, which is you, and the brown is obviously your enemy's energy meter, which is by screen. Obviously there's only ever one enemy on each screen, so the energy corresponds to each screen's enemy. Yeah, basically, yeah, you go, I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, grab the sword from the statue there, and earlier on grabbed a chain from a hanging basket. Then you grab the bark from that tree, and combined with the chain makes your nunchucks. Here you find some roofing nails, combined with the rubber glove, turns into a climbing glove, which the ninja can use to climb now in certain parts of level 1. Yeah, just another item here, the potion, which restores your energy and gives you an extra life. Now, just going back to the meters quickly, then you've got obviously your score there. Under that, you've got a dragon that's all red and partly green. Now, that's your Bushido meter, which is very important in the game. The way the Bushido meter works in Last Ninja 3 is every enemy has a weapon. When you walk past them, the game shows you what weapon they have. Now, as you can see, that just going back to the game quickly there, yeah, you use the climbing glove there to climb up onto this ledge, and walk to the end here and grab the oil lantern, which you'll need for this puzzle here to get that rock down into the hole, because there's something you need there. Yeah, I'll just show you. See, we'll go near the guy. He's got the staff. Now, as with the Bushido meter, for me to get the Bushido meter to raise up, I'm supposed to take him on with the same weapon to do the honourable thing. Now, as I fight him, if I fight him with the same weapon, I gain Bushido, so the dragon gets more green towards the head. But if I fight him with the incorrect weapon, I lose Bushido, and it goes back down towards the tail. Yeah, back to the game again here. So you pick up the gunpowder and combine it with the oil lantern, and you have basically a bomb. Yeah, the ninja made a bomb. He's like fucking MacGyver, man. Then you climb up here, climb back up here. I love that, it's so cool. You know, and then you put the bomb behind this rock, because that little blue thing on the ledge there, that's an item that you need. It's the scroll. Yeah, the screen shakes, the boulder falls down, and then you can collect the scroll. Yeah, back to the Bushido meter again. This is getting tricky. Yeah, so the tricky thing about it is you don't get the staff until level 3, so obviously how are you supposed to fight this guy and not lose Bushido? Well, if you don't have a weapon that they have, you're supposed to fight them, believe it or not, with your bare hands. And if you fight any guy in the game with your bare hands, you gain Bushido. So, yeah, that's how that's supposed to work. Then, oh yeah, get some shurikens there, sweet.
The next thing I'll talk about is the ninja face. Although it's not really a key part of the gameplay, the ninja winks from time to time when when you're on the right track of doing things or solving puzzles, which I reckon is really cool. It's just that that level of interactiveness. It's something that's how do I explain this? Yeah, something that's it's not necessary, but it just adds so much. And as you can see there, using the scroll, there's a place in every level that you have to use the scroll to get to. So you have to solve all the puzzles to get the scroll, then go to this place. And basically, level 1 is the Earth level. And from what I gathered of the story is you're battling your arch nemesis Shogun on Shogun Kanatoki in each of the of Earth's elements. So you go through basically Earth, Wind, Water, Fire, and then the last level is called Void. It's the thing that's cool about this game is it's not just a battle of a battle of battling an enemy. There's a whole, like, he's into the dark powers, and your ninja training is at such a high level, so it's really cool in that respect, where it's more than just a fighting game.
Okay, I'm just going to talk about level 1 now, which is what you just saw me play. I decided just to not have a video in between the intro and level 1. It just seemed, I don't know, sort of stupid, but yeah, I just love it. It really does make me think about Earth. I mean, all the cliffs and things, trees, things like that. It was very sort of grounded like that. And the puzzles in the first level were very interesting. One thing I really love is when you blow that boulder up. Yeah, it was sort of hard to see in the video, but when I actually recorded it, it did it properly. But I guess in the video it lost a bit of the shake. But the screen actually shakes a little bit. It goes like that when the bomb goes off and the boulder falls down. And yeah, I love how clever this game is. Like, you find the chain from the pot plant, the hanging pot plant, and then you find some bark or wood, and you can make some nunchucks, I mean, it's sort of unbelievable, but it's cool at the same time. I don't know if you remembered in Ninja 2, you found the pull chain on the toilets, in the Central Park toilets, in the women's toilet, they had the flush chain, with the handle on the end of the chain. You went into 2 different toilets, you found 2 of them and linked them together, and you had the nunchucks, which was cool, when I first got this game, it didn't take me long to beat the first level. It's pretty straightforward. Once I sort of figured out you could climb up that area to get up to the boulder, because I was stuck on that for a while. I didn't sort of realise. But once I figured that out, it was pretty easy. And, yeah, a lot of fun. The music was really cool. Ren Owenhand, it's Owenhand or Owenhand, so if I say it incorrect, sorry, but yeah. The music he did was awesome, but this tune wasn't my favourite. The level 3 tunes are my favourites. You guys will see that soon. But now, I think it's time to check out level 2, Wind.
Alrighty, so here we have the Wind level. The music itself gives that away, which is really cool. Yeah. This is actually a pretty dangerous level. There's lots of, I don't know, sort of high up cliffs, and yeah, some of these lily pad jumps can be quite annoying, which you'll see here. Before, while I was recording the footage here, me playing, I actually messed up a few times on the jumps, and this was my second attempt at the second level because I needed every life. That's why I was being a bit sort of cheap in the first level using shurikens on Shogun. I thought I could just cheap out and not risk losing lives because, back in the heyday when I played this, I was the gun at it. I knew I could beat every guy, like getting hit once. I was just, my skill was at its peak. But, that was like 20 years ago or something, and now usually when I play it on the emulators, right? Because, just to get the Commodore 64 out, it's a bit of a pain, even though I've got it out now. Normally I wouldn't have it out. So, yeah, when you play the emulators, you get unlimited lives, so you don't rely on skill, you sort of just, you know how to go through the game and all that. But when I was doing this this demo of this is on the actual Commodore 64, I had to be really careful with the lives, because you get 3 continues, but if you get to level 3 with 1 life left, and you continue, it lets you continue, but it only gives you that 1 life again, and you really need more than 1 life on each level, so that's why I was sort of being cheap and running past these guys. But yeah, level 2 is pretty straightforward. It's basically go through this maze of pathways, find the scroll, which I found, and find that rope. Once you've got them, you can pretty much leave. It's a bit of a basic level, really. I'm not going to say it's shit, but I mean, it's very atmospheric, but as far as puzzles are concerned, it wasn't really that great. But I was stuck on it for a while because I didn't know what the hell the rope did, and I'll tell you why in a second. So once you've got the scroll on the rope, you head back out, right? You grab the potion from here to get your energy back. That's why you don't get it on the way in. And yeah, you move the lily pad again, and there we go. And yep, do this funny jump again, and here we go, jump. Oh, see that skill, mate? Natural, mate. So yeah, so the other item you collected in this level, which I got before, was the bellows, which you'll need not in the next level, the level after. You know, if you don't have that item, well, then you're screwed. This guy wouldn't let me pass. I had to beat the shit out of him. Take that, bitch. But yeah, as I said, you know, I was trying to avoid fighting just to save as much energy as possible for the Shogun battles at the end, because it's very tough. So yeah, you basically just go through. It's like I said, very straightforward level. I always find this screen runs the game a lot slower because there's a lot more on it. As you can see, the ninja's not running as fast. I think it's those overlays. But here we go. So you see that green vine down there? You can climb down there. It's ivy, and it makes you lose energy, but you can climb down there. So it just made the rope seem useless. But then I figured out one day, if you use the rope, you save all that energy. So, and then we get to the Wind Shogun battle. Shogun always fights with nunchucks in all 4 levels. I don't know why, but yeah, it's like you have to defeat him on against every element. It's like a challenge, you know. Defeat him in Earth, defeat him in the Wind level, you know. Defeat the challenges that he sets forward, and then beat him on a human scale. That's what I love about this game. It's so cool. You can really look into it. So next level will be water.
Alrighty, so level 2, huh? While this level was a very dangerous level, like there were heaps of places where you could fall off things or fall into the water or something, the level was really easy. I was actually shocked when it still shocks me today even, that how easy this level was. Like all the levels in the last Ninja games have always had some sort of challenge, but this level, the jumps are not a challenge. You know, once you master the jumps, that's easy. And then all you have to do is find the scroll and the rope. And you didn't even need to find the rope, you know, because as I said in the video, you can just climb down the ivy. You lost health, but you could still do it, you know, and you could still get to the next level without the rope. And for ages, I didn't even think to climb down that ivy, and I had no idea what the fuck the rope was for. I was trying to throw it down. I didn't mention it in the video, but the screen, there's a screen just 2 screens back from the ivy. There's like a little tree stump at the bottom of a cliff, and I thought maybe you had to like throw the rope down there or something, you know. I don't know, it was stupid, you know, because it wasn't very obvious where you climbed down with the rope. It didn't seem very obvious at all. And but when I noticed the ivy, that seemed a lot more obvious, and I thought you had to use the rope with the ivy or something, but it still drains all your health. So, but yeah, level 2 was not a challenge at all. Once you had the jumps mastered, you know, it was a real easy level. So a bit disappointing, a bit of a letdown actually. There should have been some more puzzles in level 2, but you know, they make up for it in level 3, which we'll check out now, which is really cool. So let's check out level 3, water.
Alrighty, so here we have my favourite level, water. Again, the music just, Renault in hand, man, just so awesome. This is definitely probably my favourite. It's hard for me to say. This is definitely either my favourite or second favourite track in the game. But I'd say it's my favourite. Yeah, I'll say it's my favourite. But just the water music just sounds so cool. You know, really goes with the background. So as you can see here, it's again another maze of pathways, and it's just a matter of solving the puzzles. Now this level had me stumped for a while, and I'll tell you why. Basically, with the ninja game, all the grey paths sort of tell you where you can go, but in this level there was a first. You had to jump off a path and find an item. Now with Ninja 3, items are invisible, whereas in Ninja 2 they were visible on the screen and they flashed if you found the map. Now, I just got to add something here. That weird icon that opened up was a cog, and when you pick them up they become shuriken. Now I'm one of the only guys that knew that, and I told the guys at lastninja.c64.org. I was really proud of that because I used to ring up the hotline all the time, the official hotline for this game, and I asked him, what the fuck is that? How come it turns into a shuriken? Here's that jump I was telling you about. You have to jump off the track and pick up an item here at the end of the pier. Right. That had me stuck for ages. But yeah, anyway, I used to ring up this hotline, and he told me, the ninja reaches into that machine, which you can again see down here, and he pulls the cogs out of the machine and he uses them as shuriken. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And like, no one would know that because, you know, it was never published anywhere. You know, it was only in the hint book because the hint book came from the makers of the game. So yeah, I was always proud of that little tidbit of info. But yeah, so once you've done that weird jump and picked up what is a plug, by the way, you can basically solve the puzzles from this level. Head down to these reeds here and finally pick up the staff. Hooray! Now you have all of Ninja's weapons: nunchuck, staff, sword, shuriken, and fists. And yeah, basically head to this screen. But when I was playing, I totally forgot about it. I was thinking, oh, I have to get the scroll first. But there's actually a puzzle you have to solve on that screen, which I'll do in a second. So yeah, I got a bit lost here because it's been so long. I'm like, hang on, which way is it? And then I realised, yes, this is where the scroll is, in that doorway. I got to say, I felt a bit jibbed here. Okay, the first shuriken I threw there was, I admit, I missed, right? But this second, third, and fourth one, I reckon should have killed the guy. I was really pissed because I'm normally pretty good with the shurikens. And this was dead on. Look at that. That went right through him. I even went for the second and third one. I'm like, no way. It has to get him. It's a glitch or something. The third one sort of got him, but it didn't kill him, man. I was really pissed about that when I was playing this. So yeah, I'm like, fine, you know, it's hurt him enough, and I'll just go back and beat the shit out of him with my nunchucks, man. And, yep, so I did that, grabbed the scroll, there we go. And then now off to solve the puzzle. Now the puzzle of this level was that that waterfall we saw earlier in the level is the doorway that you need to go through to fight Shogun on the water stage. But you can't go through the doorway while the water's there. I'm guessing because the scroll would get wet or something, I don't know. Let's just say that for the sake of this review. So you have to stop the water, and that's where you use this plug. You use this plug just here in this drain. The ninja flashes and it blocks. I think that little swirling vortex is a clue that that's where the water is being sucked in from and being pumped back to this waterfall. Now once you've blocked it, obviously the water stops and you can go through the doorway and fight Shogun in the water stage. Love these little rooms, they're so cool. You know, if your Bushido's a lot higher, you beat Shogun easily at the end of the stage. But I just wasn't working on the Bushido, I was working on saving lives, so... But yeah, that's the water stage, and now the next one will be the fire stage, which is infamous.
Alright, that was a cool level, huh? The water stage, I love it. Just how there was water everywhere, and the music was just so awesome, man. Excuse me. The music's so incredible. I was stuck on the water level for a long time. what I talked about in the video, that jump where you had to jump onto the pier, that had me stumped for months. I had no idea what to do. And in the water level, there's a lot of like drains and things like in paths, and I always thought maybe I had to open a drain or something, sort of like Ninja 2, like go down the sewers and that. Especially because I think I'd seen maybe a screenshot of the fire level which looked underground, you know. So yeah, you know, I was stuck on that for ages. Now, I talked about in the video how I used to ring up a hotline, which was an official hotline, and from memory it was Electronic Arts who ran it. I know, EA, huh? It's creepy, but back then, yeah, they were distributing this game in Australia because, you know, it's made in the UK, and there's always a sub-distributor here that's sort of just in charge of getting the game out there. And I remember it was Electronic Arts because I used to ring them. Again, I was in Queensland and they were in Southport, which is sort of down at the Gold Coast. And I used to ring them up because there was like some sort of tips hotline somewhere. Actually, is it in the book here? Oh, cool. I didn't even know about that. How cool is that? Fucking awesome, man. Oh, the scroll, man. This book's so awesome. What else is in here? And more pictures of the weapons. Shit, I forgot about those, man. So cool. Yeah, anyway, I don't know where I got the number from, but yeah, I used to ring them, and yeah, they helped me with the pier there, with the plug on the end of the pier. I think they gave me the tip, or either that, or I just figured it out one day. But either way, yeah, I used to ring that hotline up a lot, and I mentioned it in the video. I asked them what the hell was that when you're next to the cog machine and you pick up the cogs and you find shuriken. It never made sense because the icon was something else, and then suddenly it was shuriken, and it was never explained anywhere. I even saw like a walkthrough to this in a magazine, and even they had no clue what the hell it was. I think there was even a note there. We're not sure what this is, but it gives you shuriken, you know. And I remember I rang up the you know, the hotline, and I asked him, because like he had all the answers. You know what I mean? This guy was like God. He had a book there, because I remember I'd hear him like that sort of thing, right? And he had every answer in that book, man. I wish I could have that book. You know, that'd be so cool. As well as just some photocopying thing, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I remember him. I'm like, oh yeah, what's with that cog machine, man? What's with that strange picture, you know? And he's like, cog machine. I'm like, yeah, this screen, you know, you stand next to the machine and you pick up this thing and it gives you shuriken, because I didn't know what it was. And he's like, oh, those are cogs from the machine, and the ninja uses them as shuriken. I'm like, oh, cool. And you know, I always remembered that because, you know, no one ever knew what the hell it was. And when I found the Last Ninja website, I remember it was on there. Even Kai runs the website, had no idea what that was too. No idea what this is or something. And then I emailed him. I go, I know what that is. They're cogs. And the ninja uses them as shuriken. And I know because, you know, I got it from an official source. I got it from the guy who had all the answers, you know. He was the official distributor in Australia. Okay, cool. So if you look there, I get credit under Scorpion or Luke, because I used to sort of always email in my little tidbits. But yeah, the third level, once you had the plug thing figured out, it was sort of obvious, but when I had the plug, I kept trying to put it into the swirly water vortex thing, and it would never work. I never thought to put it into the little hole where you put it in, but it sort of makes more sense that way, I guess, to sort of block up the thing. And then basically, yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Fight Shogun again, and then onward to the next level. Fire!
Alrighty, here we have the fire stage, which has really cool music, but and really cool atmosphere. But I gotta say, this is definitely the glitchiest level in the game. There are so many glitches in this stage that it really brings the game down. Now, here you're gonna see one of the first ones, which is the jumps on the on that lava screen. Really glitchy. the thing that's cool about this stage is it reminds me of the dungeons from Ninja 1 and the sewers from Last Ninja 2. It's like there's always an underground level or something in the Last Ninja games, which is really cool. They always look awesome. This is the jump I was telling you about. Watch me get ripped off here. This is definitely a rip-off jump. You ready? So you got to jump to that thing in the middle. I'm trying to jump. I'm like, oh shit, jump. What the fuck was that? You see that? Something stopped me from jumping and making a legit jump. And here we go, we'll try again. There we go. There we go. I was fucking relieved. That's why I stopped for a second, like, yes, I made it! I don't have to do the level 100 times. I thought I was going to have to play the level 100 times. Now, when I'm holding that stable, he's supposed to just climb up, but because the guy attacked me, it sort of blocked me. There's another glitch, and then I sort of jumped up to the top there. So basically the first item of the game is this ingot, which you pick up here. And here's number 2 glitch. While it's had found, even though I was holding the staple, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't let me climb back down, and I died. I lost a fucking life. I was really pissed about that. And so yeah, you know, I lost 2 lives unfairly on this level, which sort of made it very close to me losing the whole game. But I managed to sneak through, which is awesome. Now check out glitch number, what are we on, 3 or 4? I pull out the shuriken to use on this guy, right? Because I just need to grab an item from there. And see that? It disappeared. And now, I thought it just was reverting back to the item I was holding. But as you can see here, I'm trying to throw shurikens. I'm like, what the fuck's going on, man? I realized the game glitched on me, and it took my shurikens away, which was bullshit, man. I was really cut about that. So I had to go back into the screen and fight him, because there's an item you need in that little room there, which is the dust mask. So I just pull out my nunchucks, and off we go. I should have fought the guy with the sword, so again, I was losing Bushido. If you didn't see the ninja wink, if you haven't seen him wink yet, he winked just as I killed the guy, so wind the YouTube video back if you want to see it. There we have the gas mask, or dust mask, which you need for a room that is filled with poisonous gas. So now that we've got the mask, we can go back to the poisonous gas room. Climb back up here. Sweet. I like the way the guys they don't move when you're on a higher ledge. Except this guy. See, this guy moves. That guy's fucking annoying. And then he stops. What an asshole. So anyway, yeah. Now, this isn't the poisonous gas room. The poisonous gas room is, see that area you jump to in the middle? This part, yep, down here. If you go onto this screen normally without the gas mask, or dust mask, whatever you want to call it, your energy just siphons down and you die, and you can't make it to this item in time. This item is called Flow Aid, which apparently makes a fire hotter or something. When I was a kid, I had no idea what Flow Aid was, you know. I don't think even my parents knew. I ended up finding out from the magazine review that had a hint on it. But, yeah. Once you've got that, again, it glitched. The guy blocked me. I couldn't get up the ladder. I was really pissed. Took all my energy. And I really got jibbed on this level. I lost 2 lives unfairly. And then this guy kept fucking attacking me, which was really shitting me. You know, I'm thinking, shit, I've got to fight Shogun, and that guy's not helping, mate. And then I realised, oh man, you know, I realised right here, that I forgot to get the potion. I'm like, damn it! So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go back, because, you know, A, I'll get all my energy back, and B, I'll get an extra life. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll go back, right? So, the potion's on this screen, by the way, but it's next to that. What's it called? Cauldron down the bottom, so I have to get back down, and then I'm like, oh, fuck off. The game glitches up again, and he blocks me like that. So yeah, just leave the screen, go back on. Here we go again. Yeah, it's really annoying because this guy, he always blocks you, he intersects with you, and only when you're going up the ladder. So. And then a really cool shortcut is if you pull a gas mask out and go in that doorway, you can avoid doing the jumps once you've got the gas mask. So you can just go up here to get to the potion a lot faster. which works out nicely. I was going to fight the guy, and then I'm like, oh shit, I don't have enough energy to fight him, and he got stuck, which helps out, and then he got unstuck, so then he came at me, but my ninja training got me around that, so... Back through the poisonous gas-filled room, and this is where I got really annoyed. This level is a real bastard, I tell you, it's just full of glitches. So I just wanted to climb up, right? And again, it wouldn't let me fucking climb, even though I got to the ladder first, and look at this. He took all my energy. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you fucking bastard. Now, on top of that, I managed to climb that time. There we go. But then came in this glitch. If he attacks you while you're climbing up the ladder, he just stands there and keeps attacking you, even though you're up the top, and you keep losing health. The only way out of it is to quickly change screens. So again, I lost all that energy, and as you can see, I'm pretty much fucking dead here. Now, onto the rest of the puzzles of the level. I got to tell you something trippy. I got to tell you a story while I've got the time. I was stuck on this level for ages. I had no idea what to do because I didn't know what the flow aid was or anything. And I had a dream one night, the night before I beat the level. And in the dream, I saw the key. Now, the key was the puzzle I was having trouble solving, because I'd found this mold on this screen. It's a mold for a key, and I had the ingot, and I knew I had to make a key, but I just couldn't figure out how without the flow aid. And in the dream, I saw the key complete. Now, the thing that's weird is I saw the key in my dream, and anyone would say, oh yeah, you just imagined it from the shape of the thing. But I remember in my head seeing, because the key's silver with a bit of pink on it, I remember seeing that in my dream. And that's trippy. I saw this before I'd done it, or before anyone else had done it. I'd never seen it before, and I had a premonition of it. And that, to me, was really trippy. And then the next day, I did it. So, yeah, this is what you had to do to make the key. As you can see, I already used the bellows on the fire. That's the first thing you had to do to make the fire hot. Then you beat the guy up. Then you pull out the flow agent. You put the flow agent in first, like so. Then you pull out the ingot, you put that in, which melts it. Then you pull out the mold, and you put that in, and then you got the key. Now, as you can see the little pink on the head of the key there? That's what I saw in my dream, and I know that's just really trippy. That's always been something in my life that I've never been able to explain, because I'd never seen that anywhere until I did it, and I saw it in a dream the night before, which was really creepy. Yeah, then I knew basically, open this gate, and this is where you'd be fighting the Shogun on the fire level. So, I forgot to pull the scroll out. I was like, oh, what the fuck would I go in? Then I realised I wasn't holding the scroll. There we go. Alrighty. So, fight Shogun one more time, and I die again. If I'd built up my Bushido by now, I probably wouldn't be dying so much and I'd have extra lives, so I should have done that. But yeah, beat Shogun again, there we go, and onward to the last level of the game, Void.
Alrighty, fire. What can I say? That level was very, very cool. Don't get me wrong, but it was so glitchy. And it was a real shame, because as visually stunning as this level is, it's also the level that causes damage to the game. As people play Ninja 3, and when you get glitched up like that, it just leaves a sour taste in your mouth, Especially when you're doing those jumps, and you just jump, and there's some invisible thing blocking you, and you just die, It was probably the biggest glitch. The biggest glitches in the game were in the fire level. I don't know, it's just the jumps, the climbing, being attacked while climbing, all sorts of crap, the shurikens disappearing. I couldn't believe that, man. I was so pissed off. And I know I had some left, because I hardly used any. I mean, I used a few in the water level. Well, I used like 4. But every time you pick up shuriken, you get like 6, I think it is. 6 or 8. Unless in Ninja 3, it's 4. I don't think it is, though. I think it's more... I'm still going to claim that's a glitch, because I actually selected it, and when you don't have shurikens left, you can't select it. I selected it, and then it disappeared. So it's a glitch. It's a fucking glitch. I'm calling it a glitch. Anyway, yeah. So, you had the other stupid things, you know, the stupid jumps not working, the shurikens disappearing, the bloody being attacked while, you know, the guys are standing there hitting you, you're running along the top taking the damage, you know. But fire was the level that stuck me the longest. I had no idea how to, I never figured out to go in that, you know, that room where you get the flow agent. In there, I never really thought there'd be an item in there. I tried, because that room's at the start of the game, and when I first played it, I tried to go in there and I died. So I thought, And then when I crossed and went to sort of the other part of the level, you know, found the dust mask and all that, I never thought to go back, really, you know. And because that item, the dust mask, doesn't look like a dust mask. It doesn't, I'm sorry. The icon in the game looks shit. You know, if I show you something here in the book. See here, look at this. That looks like a dust mask, right? That makes a lot more sense. But in the game, it doesn't look anything like that. So, you know, I don't think I even looked at the manual much. You know, you look at it quickly and then you just play the game. So I was stuck for ages. And then, you know, one day I figured it out and found a flow aid, but I still couldn't figure out the key thing. And that story I told in the video about the dream, that is totally true. No one else I knew had Ninja 3. I hadn't seen any magazines or anything with the answer with the key. And even if I did see them, I did see a play guide, but it was black and white. So there's no way I saw it in there. And I'm sure I saw that after, anyway, after I'd beaten the game, I saw a playthrough. But I was stuck and couldn't figure out the key thing. And I knew I had to get into that cage where you fight Shogun at the end of that level, because it was the only area I couldn't get into. And yeah, I knew I needed to make that key somehow, and I figured out straight away you have to melt the ingot down and all that, but I didn't figure out to put the powder in first, then the ingot, then the mold. You know, you had to put 4 items into that thing to make it work. First you had to do the bellows, then the flow agent, then the ingot, then the mold, and then you got the key. And yeah, I had this dream the night before that I got the key. And in the dream, I could see the key, and it even had the pink on it. It had the pink colour on it. And I'd never seen that anywhere. So, I don't know. That's freaky, man. To me, that's really freaky. There's just I can't explain it. I can't explain it. No one described it to me because no one had the fucking game. I didn't have it in any magazines. There was no internet. There was no way I could have seen what that key looked like, or had known that the pixels on the top corner of it were going to be pink. There's no way. You know, so that's just, I can't explain it, you know. But yeah, that's one of those things, one of those weird things in life, you know. But yeah, you know, I had the dream, and then the next day, did it. And I was just like, wow. I couldn't.
Alrighty. Okay, so this is the last level of the game, Void. After conquering the 4 elements, the ninja is transported to a place of what I think is supposed to be dark magic. This is sort of where Shogun lives his life from, because the ninja's beaten the Shogun several times, and it's like he's died, but he's like projecting himself from beyond death, you know, from this place. As you can see, it looks like space, but it's more than space, because, you know, there's like this fortress here, but it's not really like it's a fortress that actually exists in space. It's like it's beyond space and time, and I think that is the whole message of the game. The music is epic. Ren just outdid himself on this game with these tunes, and they just fit the atmosphere so well. As you can see, again, I got lost because I hadn't played the game so long. I remember you had to go in between those 2 pillar things, but then I couldn't remember where to go from there. I just knew you had to find the paths, sort of get these grid patterns on them, which is there, and then I knew that's where you go from there on. What you're supposed to do in the last level, if your Bushido meter isn't high enough, you should fight as many guys as possible to get your Bushido up. Which I tried to do, but I really didn't have enough lives to sort of get it higher. Like I said, back in my heyday, I'd just beat every guy up until it was fully green. and I'll show you why. You need High Bushido to conquer Shogun on this level. This is like his home turf. He's very, very powerful on this level. So this is the one place you need to conquer him on. So basically I just kept beating this guy up because he's got nunchucks and I'm the best with the nunchucks. And there's also potion on the screen. So I just kept beating him up until I was almost dead, and then just grabbed the potion and left just to get my Bushido higher for the last screen. So this is probably a pretty boring part. I just beat the guy up 4 times in a row, but yeah, just the graphics. I should talk about the graphics. I haven't been able to mention them because these levels are so quick. But the graphics throughout Last Ninja 3 were just amazing. From the earth levels to the water levels to this void level, just incredible. There were no other games like this on Commodore 64. There were a few others that System 3 did, like Tusker and I believe a few other titles that they made. International Karate. They always pushed the limits for the graphics. They really outdid themselves. It was just so pleasing on the eyes. It was, even though, you know, that last level, the fire level, was so glitchy, but that level was graphically amazing. It had animated screens, and you know, the lava coming out of that big pipe was, it was all animated, and it was just great. It just made it such a pleasure to play this game. And he's back for more. He's back for more. Ready. I flogged this guy, man. Look at that. You know, when you got full Bushido, you become even more powerful. You become as powerful as the Shogun at the end of the level. And he becomes, you know, like kids play. You can really beat the shit out of him with a full Bushido meter. That's the whole point of the game. But, yeah. Oh, man. There's so many things I could say about Ninja 3, and I'm just having trouble cramming it all into these little level voiceovers. But, this game was just incredible. That's the bottom line. Just such a pleasure to play it, you know. Come on, get up, bitch. There we go. He gets up. One of the coolest things I liked about Last Ninja 2 is if you get that potion. If you in level 1, if you beat a guy up, he falls over and then he regenerates. If you beat him up again, he dies. So in level 1, you beat a guy up twice, he dies. Then in level 2, you have to beat him up 3 times. In level 3, 4 times. Level 4, 5 times, and so and so. And so you can kill each guy, but by the end of the game, they're pretty tough. But I used to like go around and kill them all back in that day when I was really strong. So here we have, that's the final screen, that's Shogun, and when I was doing this video I fucked up. You're not supposed to pull the scroll out until you're in position, and then I realised I fucking fucked up, because if you enter this screen with the scroll, as you can see, he starts pelting shurikens at you, but you're supposed to get into position first, which I hadn't done, and as you can see, it cost me a life like that. What you're supposed to do is walk into the middle of the screen and go into the parry position and then select the scroll. But if you fucked up like me, you can sort of jump in and quickly do the parry, like I just did there. So Shogun starts pelting you with shurikens, but because of your Bushido, they bounce off you and hit Shogun back. And this is more of a power play. Who is the stronger person? The Last Ninja is obviously a person of honor, and the Shogun is not. He is a person of evil, and he wants to dominate the world. So whoever has the most power here is gonna win. And as you can see, I just had enough energy to do it, even though I only have about half the Bushido. If you die, you know. And then it says you have defeated the Shogun, or have you? And then I'm like, oh, you know, I gotta fight him one more time. This is so cool. And then yeah, I kicked his ass like that. And then it says, victory is yours, and I was just like, oh my god, you know. And then the game starts loading, right? And I'm like, okay, so it's just gonna go back and it's gonna load the high score table or something for me to put my name in or something like that. And I had no idea that it was loading an ending to the game. I freaked out again. You know how I said I freaked out when I saw the intro. This ending is epic. This ending is mega epic. It's more epic than the intro. I never expected anything like this to come up, and I was just like, when this came up, it was just like, oh my god. It was so rewarding. So yeah, it comes up like this, the guy comes up, and it starts playing this really cool music, and then the lightning, man, he's grabbing the lightning. I'm like, oh, he's fucked, you know, and then he explodes like that. I'm like, oh shit, man, it's over. Shogun's gone, man, you know. And then you see this cool shot of just the helmet. It's like, it's so iconic, and then the ninja just holding the helmet like that, like, and not wondering, not knowing what happened to him, this unknown power that's just vanquished him like that. And then yeah, basically the sun rising on a new day, you know, the ninja saves the world again, and you get this text, can anything threaten the world again? There cannot be another adversary so strong, or can there, you know? It's such a great ending. Always be ready to take up the cause should your special skills ever be required again. Pray they are not. You know, it's just it's such a great message, and this reminds me. This sort of screen reminds me, you know, the Indiana Jones trilogy. That the end of the third movie, them riding off into the sunset. It's so iconic, and it's like that for me. This is like the end of the trilogy, and basically, you know, the sun rising on another day after the ninja saved the world from Shogun, who wanted to dominate and destroy and conquer. It's just these games were so rich in the story without being too rich. They allowed you to sort of they set a story, and then they allowed you to sort of fill in the gaps yourself, which I really liked. And the fact that they pushed the graphics like this and had epic music, like the music that Ren did was just incredible. Just made it a pleasure. And speaking of the music, Ren actually remixed a few tracks from this game and put out a CD called Nexus 6581, and had a remix of the Ninja 3 intro, and I think some of the Ninja remix stuff he did, which is really cool. He made that back in 2002, you know, and if anyone could remix the music and make it sort of modernized, he could, because it's his tune, and he did an awesome job with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys some Ninja 4 stuff, because they were planning a Ninja 4, but it never came to be. So I'll show you that, and while I show you that, I'll play a preview of Ren's Ninja 3 track that he remixed. Here we have the high score screen, as you can see. Yeah, Top Ninjas. I'm in there, man. I'm so in there. Yeah, I love that picture. It's so cool. As annoying as dying was, seeing this screen was an absolute pleasure. The music was just so cool, and the picture, man, it's like a ninja that's dead holding a sword. That's just fucking crazy, man. And it again reminds me of Mortal Kombat. It just reminds me of Scorpion. He's also a ninja with a skull underneath. So, you know, these are my two favourite games, Mortal Kombat and The Last Ninja, so there's a connection there. But I just love this screen. It actually made dying bittersweet. Basically had here the high scores of the game, and those names there, this is how The Last Ninja 3 came shipped, you know, with those names. So I don't know if they reference any of the programmers or coders or anything, but yeah, if you have a hacked version, you know, they always change their names to their hacked group name sort of thing. But yeah, put my name in as TMK. I really love this picture. And something that was cool, when you died, you were able to continue like an arcade game. It had credits, which was sort of strange, you know, because this was never on arcade, so it was its own thing.
Once I did that, I was onto the last level, Void, which is, the last level doesn't have challenges either, I should say. I guess the Wind level's even more challenging than Void, but Void is just a cool level just because it looks so bizarre, how it's like in space and all that. And it's like Shogun, that's like the shogun like rules. That's its ruling land. That's where his soul presides or something. That's where he projects himself from. You know, because as I said, the ninjas beat him like, you know, a shitload of times and locked his spirit up, and it's almost like his spirit's stuck in that. That's his world or something. And yeah, he's sort of on his home turf, so you have to conquer his own henchmen and then conquer him, and that's why I just loved it. Basically, yeah, it was hard to figure out what to do with that level too, but I figured it out eventually because as soon as you select the scroll, he started throwing the shurikens, and I was just like, huh, you know. And then I figured out to block. I think by accident I jumped and blocked, and it reflected. So I tried it again, and it reflected, and then I'm just like, now what? I think I just held it there, and then eventually he blew up, and then I beat him, and it said victory is yours, and then that cool ending, man, it was fucking crazy. I never expected an ending on a Commodore 64 game. I expected like a screenshot or some text like, you have won, you know, something really lame. But yeah, loaded an intro with cool graphics and music. I was like, oh my god. The lightning's like, you know. It was so cool. He blows up, and oh, those pictures is awesome, man. I really love this game. Even as glitchy as it was worth it. I'll say Ninja 2 is the best. It's the most polished, just because it's less glitchy. But this game was cool. They really, really pushed it hard by having like an intro and an ending, and they pushed the graphics engine hard. But it just needed to be polished a bit more with some of the glitches, you know. And that's what sort of brought it down a bit. But Ninja 2 had more levels too, so it felt more complete. Whereas this felt a lot quicker. But you know, it felt quicker because it was only 5 levels. But the amount of work they put into the intros and that, you know, all the stuff we don't see them do, you know, for our 3-minute intro probably took them, I don't know, weeks of work, you know. But yeah, so as I said in the video, I'm going to show you some Ninja 4 stuff now, because yeah, they were playing Ninja 4, right? And it was a roller coaster, man, Ninja 4. At first it was coming out, then it was cancelled, then it was coming out, then it was cancelled again, then it was coming out, then it was cancelled. It was so annoying because it was coming out on PC, GameCube, Xbox. You'll even see they released some pack shots. They released like the first pack shot, which is like, you know, just the plain, the normal one, like the obvious sort of pack shot, and then they released what looked like sort of a more final version of the game, and it really looked like it was coming out, and I was really excited. It wouldn't have even mattered if the game sucked, because like it was just exciting for that game to be coming out again. What, how many years later? 1990, 10, 12 years after Last Ninja 3 came out. And you know, all us Ninja fans on you know, lastninja.c64.org's mailing list, we were in anticipation and we were going nuts. It's been cancelled again. No, it hasn't. It hasn't been cancelled. It was crazy, man. And then, like, you know, a few screenshots would leak here and there. And I don't know if there was ever a playable version at E3, because one of the screenshots mentioned we saw this at E3. But I think there must have just been screenshots. But I thought the game actually looked pretty cool. But I will say this: as you look through all the screenshots, you'll see the ninjas goes from being blue to black to grey, sort of. They were really playing with the colours. Towards the end, it looked like they were going with the blue. Even in the pack shot, he was blue, which I didn't like. I thought he should have stayed black. The ninja's black. He's always been black, you know. But the game looked like a lot of fun. Like, you take on these giant spiders, you're able to pray to your like mentor called Macron or something. I've got like a PDF that had a little bit of info in it. And yeah, then you had the same sort of thing, the solo adventure, you know, go through all the puzzles and that. Yeah, there was never any video of it, but it's a real shame. I think what Mark Hale said was, who's in charge of all the indie games, he said, I wanted to do it, but it just wasn't good enough. It's like he's really afraid to get that 4th Ninja game out. And now he's making these fucking Ferrari games or something, which are doing really well, which is annoying because, like, I'm glad it's doing well, don't get me wrong, but now he's just going to make a million Ferrari games, you know, because they do well, because of all the bloody petrol heads out there. You know, when he should be working on Ninja 4, man. I'm sorry, but Ninja 4 is what made System 3. Ninja 4 and Tusker and International Karate, those games made it. You know, so if there's any game that deserves a remake, it's Ninja 4, you know. Last Ninja 4. They were calling it The Last Ninja The Return. And, yeah, it looked really good. You know, the graphics were basic and that, but I didn't care. It looked like a lot of fun fighting those spiders and guys and all that, you know. It would have been really cool. So, I'm just, what do you do? Like, there's nothing you can do, you know. I still haven't given up hope, though. I'm hoping one day they do remake The Last Ninja, because if there's any game that deserves it, it's these games. I mean, I think the Ninja, on total, sold like 15 million copies. The Last Ninja 1, 2, 3. That's a lot. Especially back then for a Commodore 64. You know, I mean, today, like, gaming's a lot more epic than it was back then, you know. So, this game just had dominance. Just had control of Commodore gamers. If you had a Commodore 64 and you didn't have The Last Ninja, man, you're a loser. You're a fucking loser. Because this game was the best. There is no game better than The Last Ninja 1, 2, and 3. So thanks for watching my reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed the format of this one. Hearing the voiceover, you know, the quality is a lot better, so you can see that now. And yeah, you'll be able to see those Last Ninja 4 screenshots now. And I've put the music with the screenshots is Ren Owenhand's music that he released for the CD he made back in 2002 called Nexus 6581, where he remixed the Last Ninja 3 intro music and some of the in-game sort of Last Ninja themes from Ninja Remix and that. He had them on the CD. So what I've done is I've just I've done a slideshow of all the screenshots with his music that he released, the samples. Firstly, I want to thank Ren Onohand because he made such an awesome soundtrack. I want to thank Kai Splitzley, I hope I said that right, from lastninja.c64.org for making the best Last Ninja fan site out there. You guys should, if you like Ninja 3, you should go there and check it out, because you can read, if you click Last Ninja 4, you can read everything about Ninja 4. You can see all the dates when it's like, it's coming out, oh no, it's been cancelled. You can read all that. You can read the log of what happened, pretty much. And there's so much cool stuff on that site. There's all these, you can look at all the cover art, all the pictures, all the promos. You can look at everything on that site. It's really cool. Who else should I thank? Shit. I swear there was someone else I was going to thank. I should thank my Commodore 64 for still working. Yeah. That's pretty much it, I guess. Ren Owenhand and Kai. Yeah. Oh, I guess all the websites where those screenshots came from, like gamers.com or whatever it was, Total Video Games, whatever, yeah. Thanks to anyone who donated screenshots and everything. Thanks for watching another TMK review of The Last Ninja 3. I'll see you guys next time, so hopefully soon, for another Commodore 64 game. Peace out.